To begin the session, Champions and Icons Changing the Game, please welcome the panel on From MVP to Mogul, Earvin Magic Johnson on Legacy, Leadership, and LA's Future, moderated by Alex Rodriguez, Chairman and CEO of A-Rod Corp., and Jason Kelly, Chief Correspondent at Bloomberg Originals.
All right. All right, so I'm going to say, just, as a human being, this is exciting for me. But my excitement, I'm telling you, is nothing compared to this guy's. Alex Rodriguez does not swoon. He does not, be like, oh, I'm so excited about this. He's beside himself right now. So just like, as his co-host on the deal, I just want you to give him some space and let him know that it's going to be okay. We're all here to support him when he's here with his idol. All right, so I'm Jason Kelly. This is Alex Rodriguez.
Now I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. Oh, just wait. We host a show at Bloomberg called The Deal. Our season premiere is next week. We hope you'll tune in. And we couldn't be more excited to have you here with us, Magic. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, so Magic, I want to jump in by...
Well, first, before you jump in.
Yeah.
This man owns the Minnesota Timberwolves. What is he doing sitting here? And he's so cool and calm. And they just beat my Lakers. I'm still crying and mourning right now. What are you doing sitting here? And you know you got this big game against the Warriors tonight. I have to ask them that first.
Great.
Only with the greatest of all time, Mr. Magic Johnson,
Okay,
five-time world champion.
All right.
This is my childhood hero. So Jason is right. I'm very excited, and you'll hear a little bit why later.
Okay. I just had to get that in because I don't know if I would be here. If my,
Listen,
okay. I won't get into that. Go ahead.
I'll tell you this, Magic. There are airplanes and police escorts involved that are going to get him to the game.
Okay, I'll see him on TV
so
tonight.
Don't worry.
Then.
Yeah,
okay,
he'll be courtside. Don't you worry. So what's so interesting is there are a lot of fans in this room of both of these guys. But there's a very special relationship between these two. And it's so interesting as Alex and I have been doing this show, we have had a North Star, and I know Alex has a North Star in Magic. And this is a relationship that goes back a long way to a young Seattle Mariner who was essentially cold calling heroes and trying to learn about business. And he knew that you were the guy he wanted to be when it came not just to sports, but to athletics. There's a dinner that happens. Alex, I want you to take us back. It happened here in Los Angeles to what you took from what was meant to be 30 minutes, turned into a few hours. You still have the notes. What's the takeaway from Magic?
Yeah, thanks, Jason, and thanks everybody for being here.
Yeah.
I'm a huge believer in the power of mentorship. Magic went to Michigan State. I didn't go to college. I went straight from high school to the Seattle Mariners, an 18-year-old in the major leagues. And I've studied Magic from the time he came out of Michigan State. My brother Joe, he was our favorite player, and you watch him on CBS at 3:30. I'm dating myself a little bit. And then after Magic would end, you go and shoot Magic like hook and left hook and pass, no look. So I called Lon Rosen, who's a longtime partner of Earvin, and I said, is there any way, now we're with the Mariners, there's like 25, 27 years ago. I'm just a young kid, 22, 23. And I said, Lon, can I get 30 minutes with the guy? And I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe in a couple years. He's like, hey, how's tomorrow night? I'm like, bet. I'm there. So we sat in a room. It was supposed to be 30 minutes. He comes back. He goes, I got to make a quick call. And he comes back. He goes, we got a little bit more time. So that led to almost a 3-hour dinner where I have like 9 pages of notes. And there's no question in my mind that how Dr. Buss impacted Magic, Earvin has impacted me. And without that dinner, because here's a man of color, here's a guy that was a Hall of Fame basketball player. He comes from humble beginnings, all things that I can relate with. And I said, if Magic can do it, why can't I? I certainly wouldn't have A-Rod Corp today because he gave me the blueprint of how he built Magic Johnson Enterprises. And we've had this beautiful relationship that I just admire him so much, and he's been so good to me. As a matter of fact, my mom texted me the other night. She goes, call me is important. I go, Mom, we just won. I'm in L.A. It's like 2 in back home in Miami. And she says, Earvin Johnson, I screenshot it. He tweeted about us. And to my good friend, A-Rod, So anyways, I wouldn't own a team without Magic. I wouldn't have A-Rod Corp without Earvin, and I just want to say thank you, and I wanted to share that story with you.
No, thank you.
And so let me ask you, we love Alex.
Right.
Why'd you take that meeting? Like, what did you see in him back then, and what do you remember saying to him?
Well, the greatness of him as an athlete, but also, too, the way he carried himself, not just on the field, but off the field. And then when athletes are thirsty for the knowledge and they show up on time, ask a lot of questions, that really impressed me with Alex. And I knew that he was serious about, while he was playing, he was getting himself ready for the boardroom. And so it's the same thing for me, right? I was getting myself ready, taking all those meetings with Dr. Buss to get ready for life after basketball. And when I see a young athlete, and especially when you're great at something, right, then he understands the discipline, the work ethic it's going to take to become not only great as a baseball player, but that same mindset and attitude, he had to take it in terms of learning to become a great businessman. And so I'm so impressed. I'm so happy for him because now what I gave him, he's given to others, right? We always still got to pass it to other athletes and other people of color, not just of color, but whoever wants the knowledge, come get it. So it's a blessing to see him and to be on this stage with him today and see where we both are, right?
Yeah.
We both have grown so much from that meeting, and where I am today and where I was then is I'm in a completely different place today.
Well, let's talk about that, because what you have done over the course of the last 30, 40 years is a series of unbelievable deals. And one of the most interesting things, and Alex and I talk about this all the time, is your movement to ownership.
Mm-hmm.
You have a partner, Mark Ein, here in the front row with the Washington Commanders.
Yep.
We spent some time with your partner, Josh Harris, last week in Miami. That's a seminal deal for the NFL.
Right.
I would argue it's a seminal deal for you. Would you agree? And how do you put that in the context of your deal making?
No, it's the greatest deal I've ever done. I mean, listen, first as a kid, I'm already a football fan. I played football, but I knew I was better at basketball, so I gave it up in high school to concentrate on basketball. But to know that I've been a big fan of the NFL, not knowing that a man of color could actually become an owner in the NFL, but I had Josh Harris said, hey, I want you to be a part of this ownership group. We had went after the Denver Broncos, but a young man for Walmart said, I don't care what you bid, I'm going to outbid you, so you might as well just keep your money, right? And Josh said, I said, okay, we give. But the team we're supposed to own, we own. Why did I say that? Josh Harris is from D.C., so he watched the Redskins as a boy. Mark Ein is from D.C., so he watched the Redskins as a boy. Mitch Rales is from D.C. So now they got men who grew up loving this team, who now become the owners and the gatekeepers. And I think, and I knew that we were going to do a fantastic job. And then for them to bring me in, it's a blessing for me, but also for men of color, but also former athletes as well. Right. It shows them that we can go from the court to the boardroom. And I want to thank Mark because he's here. And Josh has done a wonderful job of leading our team and the ownership group. And look when we bought the team, look where we are today, And it's going up and up and up. And I'm so happy to be a part of the ownership group.
So, Irv, that's your best deal in sports, and we agree. That's just, and the NFL is one of one. Roger Goodell does an incredible job. We know that. But going to outside of sports and business, going back to the Howard Schultz days with Starbucks, 125 stores, or Mark Mastro with 24-Hour Fitness, and other deals. Also, you got in the insurance business. What would you think is your seminal deal outside of sports?
It have to be Starbucks, because it gave me the stamp of approval. A lot of people wanted to take the meeting with me because they wanted the autograph and the picture. But then they said no, they didn't want to be in business with me. I knew we were going to Seattle, and I knew Howard Schultz sat courtside. So I said, to the PR guy of Seattle, which one is Howard Schultz? And he said, there he is right there. I said, cool. I ran right over there to him, right? And I said, hey, I'm Earvin Johnson.
I know who you are, man.
Yeah. And I asked him, I said, could I take you to lunch or dinner the next time that we're back playing the Supersonics, and so sit down and just go over business and talk to you? And he said, okay. So a few weeks later, we went back up there, and my movie theaters was crushing it in the inner cities. It showed people you can make money doing business in the inner cities of America. So I went up there, I took the numbers up to him, I showed him, hey, we're doing great. My theaters are top 10 highest grossing theaters in the nation, and nobody thought, we can make money. And he looked and said, wow. I said, the growth of your business would be through urban America, because you got one on every corner in suburban America. So he said, Earvin, let me come down and see how you operate your business. But also I got to talk to the board and the shareholders. I said, okay. So he came down, saw how I operated it. He was very impressed. And then the hardest thing I thought I was going to do was play against Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. The hardest thing was to go before the board and then go into a movie theater packed with good shareholders and try to convince them this is a great move for Starbucks. And sure enough, I was able to do that, and they all signed off, and I became the first person to ever own Starbucks outside of Starbucks. We built 125 in 40 different markets across America. They all did extremely well, and that really gave me, first of all, the stamp of approval. It gave me the track record that I needed of success so I can move on to something else. And then last but not least, Alex, this is the one thing it gave me, a chance to go up to CalPERS and CalSTRS.
Yeah.
Because I was using my money, but if I wanted sustainability and growth, I had to go to institutional capital. And it took me 3 years, man, to convince CalPERS to give me $50 million. And they said, we love you, Magic, but urban America, we're not too excited about it. How can we make money? But they finally gave me the 50, and they said, if you over-deliver with this 50, you can come back and get hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. I did that. I over-delivered. I bought a shopping center only for $22 million. It was only 40% occupied. I made it 100% occupied. I resold it for almost $50 million. Took that $28 million profit up north, and I said, here you go. They said, oh, okay, you do know business. Let's do it. So that's when I started my fund, and then I partnered with Canyon Partners to do urban America. So we started an urban fund.
Yeah.
Ron Burkle and I started a private equity fund together, which was another urban fund, Ukaipa Johnson, and then I just took off from there. And so
how do you pick partners?
Well, first of all, we all in here have been through a bad marriage with partners. No, every single one of us, at least one, right? So I went through one or two of those, and I said, never again. And I always wanted to pick partners that could teach me something, that could help expand my knowledge in terms of business, mentor me in a sense. So sure enough, when I think about Mark Walters and Todd Bowley, Peter Gruber, all these people that we own the Dodgers together, they have done an excellent job of allowing me to grow, but also, to use my expertise as well. So it's been wonderful. Bobby Patton, all of them, so it's been great. And then Mark and Mitchell and Josh is doing the same thing. Issues in D.C. that they know that, hey, I can, be a part of. The board, Mark and I was on boards. Josh assigned us to. And so it's been wonderful to be a part of it and have a voice, a real voice.
Yeah.
And so I thank Josh for that. And so I know what I know, and I know what I don't know, right? And so I think a lot of times when athletes are trying to become businessmen, they got to take their ego out of it and back up and really understand, hey, what do you really know, right? And to Alex's point, you got to get mentors, and you got to be with businessmen and women who want to help you grow.
Right.
And so all the teams that I'm involved in, it's been great to learn from the different people, men and women, and to expand my own personal growth.
I would like to point out that while you noted that Alex's team beat your team in basketball, you were kind enough not to point out that your baseball team beat his baseball team for the World Series. So you're a very generous host, Magic. Thank you.
I'm not here to, do that. It's a lot of other New Yorkers in here who didn't want to hear that.
To be reminded of that again. Yeah.
Yes. Well, the Dodgers, what we've done with the Dodgers is just amazing. And we're the world team. Yankees, we wanted to be like the Yankees. When we bought the team, that's what we talked about, because the Yankees own baseball, right? And so we have built that brand and taken it to a level that us and the Yankees, we're the two teams, and and I'm talking about brand-wise and revenue-wise, and our two TV contracts are similar, and it's amazing what we've been able to do, and I'm proud of it.
So, Irv, that's a great segue, because the Yankees used to own baseball, now you guys do, or you collectively do, right? Yeah. The Lakers have been, I read a stat where this is unbelievable, and someone will chat GPT, but there's been more jerseys, Lakers jerseys, bought or sold than the other 29 teams collective.
Put together.
It's unbelievable, what a brand. Mm-hmm. So I remember when you bought the Dodgers, we started talking, you were kind of peppering me with questions about baseball and all that. My question to you now, as an owner of an NBA and a WNBA team, what are 2 or 3 things? Now, you learn from the best in Dr. Buss. Right. You're one of the greatest of all times. Mm-hmm. What can I do to be a better owner? What are the 2 or 3 things I should be thinking about with my partner, Mark Laurie?
Well, I think, first of all, to have a 3 to 5 year plan on where you want to take the franchise, make sure that everybody is on the same page, and everybody in your organization understands that plan and that strategy, right? And have a great relationship with your players. I think that when you have a great relationship with your players, they'll come to you and they'll come and tell you, hey, we need this, we need that to be successful. And that's very important, that those men or women are very happy and that they know that you care, And then last but not least, listen, be demanding and hold everybody accountable. I come around that corner, you may see a smile, but you let us be losing, no smiling, right? My job is to hold everybody accountable. And so I will always talk to the guys, make sure they understand what's the identity of this franchise, right? And you have to say, this is who we are, this is who we want to be, and make sure those men or women understand that. And we've done that with, we changed the whole identity with the Washington Commanders. They know that we care about them, but they know we want to win, right? And the fans know that, and it's trickled down to everybody in that organization from day one. When we had a meeting with all the staff, we told them, we're here to win, and we're going to change the environment, that losing environment that they were in before. And we've done that step by step by step. We changed the stadium. We changed the locker room. All the things that players were complaining about, Josh did a wonderful job of jumping on top of that, right? And so, and then he sends us out and where we're strong. So you make sure, Mark, hey, you might go one way, but Alex, you might go another way, because there's plenty of things to tackle, and then you tackle some together. And so that's what I would say to you.
So to that point, Magic, and actually I'm going to turn this question on you too, Alex, this whole notion of an athlete turned owner is fascinating to me. This may come as a surprise. I did not play professional sports. But I know some people who did, and so I'm going to ask this question. But what is your, because I know Alex has his own view of this, and I'll ask him second. I want to ask you first. As a player, former player, turned owner, what do you say to players? What's the sort of tack that you take to them? Because maybe they're in your sport, maybe they're a baseball player or a soccer player or a football player. What's the tack you take to them? What's the secrets that you can sort of, the secret language, if there is one, that you can speak to them that, you know, a Josh or a Mark can't?
Well, because, you know, we talk about preparation, and I talk to our commander players about, you know, preparation. It starts in practice. You got to practice the way you're going to play on Sunday. So that starts on Monday all the way through, right? And losing's got to be a bad taste in your mouth, right? And then we got to be a team. We lose as a team, we win as a team, right? And so, and then it can't be hidden agendas. That kills you every time. Everybody got their, if a player got his own agenda, and it's not about team goals, it's going to kill you. You're going to lose, and it trickles down within the locker room.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. But the one thing we both have is that they respect us already.
Yeah.
And I can say something that Mark can't say.
Right.
Right? Because he's going to look at me and say, oh, he's been through it.
Right. Do you find that, Alex? I mean, like, what's your experience so far with that?
Yeah, I do agree with everything.
Hold on one second. And then I walk in with 17 damn World Series or World Championship rings, right? So I'm walking in with jewelry so they understand that language real fast. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that's right.
Right, Kenyatta?
No, I think, look, I think Earvin and I, one thing we know how the players feel. We know where they come from. We know the pressures. And, like, make no mistake, when Earvin and I played, it was hard to be an athlete. There's no harder time to be an athlete than today. Thank God I didn't play when at the height of social media. I got myself in enough trouble, but in New York City while winning a championship. But
no one knows what you're. Nobody knows about that. You're fine.
But I'll give you one live example. We have a great young player from Atlanta, Georgia. His name is Anthony Edwards, and he's 23 years old, and he's really, really special. I told Earvin before we walked on stage, I'd love for the three of us to sit down and get a little mentorship from my mentor. But I'll give you an example, a real-life example. When we got there, Anthony was about 238 pounds, about 7-8% body fat. And, his diet wasn't clean yet, right? And again, this to Earvin's point, like, my partner, Mark Laurie, probably can't have a conversation with Anthony. So I'm coming over here, and it's probably like Pat Riley would do to some of you guys, right? And what I've learned is the best teams, if everything's equal, the best conditioned team wins 9 out of 10 times. Because you got to be in great condition with these long seasons, and the playoffs are just a marathon, not a sprint. So I said, Ant, we got to get you in better shape. You're 21 years old, you're 8% body fat, but you're 240. You fast forward to today, 238 turned to 220, and he's 3% body fat. And he's a different human being. And when you watch him tonight, hopefully he can show that. But those kind of things are things that Earvin and I can have a conversation with that probably most partners can't.
All right. Can we do the rapid fire?
Let's do it.
All right. So on our show, The Deal, please tune in and download wherever you get your podcast. We do a little rapid fire segment. So we're going to hit you with this, Magic. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Okay. It's 10 questions. We'll bounce it back and forth.
Okay.
Just the first thing that comes to your mind. What's one word to describe your deal-making style?
One word, wow.
A lot of pressure.
Yes. Dang. Success.
Oh.
Irv, what's more important to you, data or your gut?
It's always my feel.
Feel.
Always my feel. I'm gonna always read the data, no question about it. But it's a feel when they walk in and I can just feel, is it gonna be a deal, and I know when it's not gonna be a deal.
Wow. Who's your dream deal-making partner?
Wow.
You've had a lot.
Wow, that's big. Just the next guy.
Growth mode.
Hey, no, I'm not choosy or picky. The next woman, next man, let's go get it done. And the one thing they're going to know about me everything I'm supposed to do, as Mark, I'm going to do it and more. So whatever my role is, I'm going to play it.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received on deal making or business?
Ron Burkle once told me, Earvin, I brought him this little deal. He said, Earvin, the same amount of time I got to spend on that little deal, it's the same amount of time I got to spend making $1 billion. I said, I got it. Thank you for that. No more small deals to Ron.
What's the worst advice you've ever been given?
The worst advice. Not with smart women and men. They don't give you really worse advice. Thank God that I'm in rooms like this a lot, and that you with solid people and people who have really been successful at what they do.
Yeah.
I think the worst advice Alex and I get is usually from people that don't have much, right? In terms of much success, right? They always talk a good game, but they don't really back it up with, action and what they're doing.
Or what's your hype song before a big game, meeting, or negotiation?
Oh, that's good. Anything Michael Jackson.
Okay.
All right.
Anything. That's my man. The
checks
greatest
out.
artist of all time to me. And I love Prince, too. So either one, put them on, I'm good.
All right. You're one of the few people to win the basketball Triple Crown, an NCAA championship, 5 NBA championships, and an Olympic gold medal. Which meant the most to you?
I think the gold medal because of this. I finally got a chance to play with Michael and Larry.
Yeah.
I've always, on my bucket list, I've always wanted to just throw a pass to both of those guys, like a no-look pass, like come down that damn middle. I'm coming down, and there's Larry in the corner, just no-look him real fast, and let him shoot that beautiful jump shot like Larry does.
Yeah.
And then Larry talks shit, too. I love that he talks trash. I love that. And then Michael come down the middle with the tongue out. Nothing like it. And I'm telling you, when I threw the no-look pass at both of them dudes.
What's better than that?
That's it. Yeah. Nothing like it. I love both of them. They both made their teammates better. Michael's the greatest that's ever played this game. This dude, when I played with him, Larry, so Alex, you're going to love this. So Larry and I got all the championships, right? Yeah. So true story. So he walks in.
It ain't bragging if it's true.
No. So we walk in, and Michael comes in. Larry and I are sitting here talking, and he stands right there, and he says, I just want both of you guys to know there's a new sheriff in town. And we had to bow down. You're right. And he went on to win 6 championships and never lost in the finals.
Yeah.
So it's hard to argue about a man that great that could do the things that he could do.
Yeah.
And his player got some of Michael qualities in terms of how he can go up in the air and do some of the things that he can do. Yeah, special.
All right, last question.
Okay.
For this room, very successful people already.
Very successful.
But with a lot of ambition.
Mm-hmm.
What's your best advice to them who want a career like yours?
Wow. Man, me giving these people advice? Wow. I think really just, continue to be who they are and do what they do. And don't forget this. We all, it's great to make a lot of money, but also we'll be remembered by also giving back and how many people we touch too, and that's very important. And so I would say don't forget that part of it as well, the impact that they can make, whether it's with their wallet or with their power and expertise, is very important, especially times like now. We really need that. And so I would say continue to do what they're doing. I'm just excited to be here. Listen, Alex and I, when we had that meeting, never thought we would be here. I've been friends with Michael Milken for probably over 30 years, and the man has just been incredible in my life. And so for Alex and I to be on this stage at the Milken conference, oh, man, this is I got goosebumps already, like I'm getting ready to go play basketball. Yeah. And so this is really outstanding for me. I just want to say Marlon is here. Just say hi. Kenyatta, who runs our $30 billion insurance business, is here as well. So these guys who, JLC, the things that we're doing has been amazing. So I just want to make sure I said thank you to them. And Mark, thank you, brother, for being a great partner.
All right. Well, Magic, on behalf of Alex, the giddiest man in Hollywood right now, thank you so much for your time. This was
God bless
Thank
everybody.
You. Thank you, everyone.
Love you too. Now, y'all go handle that.